Welcome to the Good and New podcast,
where the sponsors are fake and the hosts are buzzed.
And we say, follow your feelings, enjoy the show!
Episode 49, I think.
Sounds about right.
49. The Good New podcast. Guest in studio.
Wow.
Scott.
49.
Recurring guest. Yeah, almost 50. Are you almost 50?
Almost.
Almost, okay.
I've almost been 50 for 4 years.
How are you doing, Scott?
Better than a 1,300 horsepower turbocharged Supra.
Which means what?
And you?
Okay.
About to blow up? I don't know.
The beer should help. Kyle, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Excellent. Yeah. Housekeeping right away.
Oh, yeah. Boy, do I.
Scott, you didn't listen to last week, did you?
No.
Trivia. Spoiler alert.
I missed trivia again?
Cover your ears if you don't want to know this stuff, because there's some...
Yeah.
Kyle's about to spill the tea.
Getting real sick of just people trying to steal victories from me. So it's back-to-back now where the people I'm playing against have tried to screw me over and had to go to overtime.
Key important part of that, the people you're playing against.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So suck it, Greg, Pop Can, Beau, and Jeff.
All four of you.
T-Rex, Dinosaur, damn near the same thing.
Same.
Cascade, North Cascade, damn near the same thing.
We got clarification from Spencer with Meat Eater. He did give Kyle Cascade as being correct.
Yep. So one time I get penalized for being too specific. The next time I get penalized for not being specific enough. So we
He's
gotta
not sour about
we gotta lay some ground rules. And then I also went home and looked up that the Brule River does flow north. So should have got one there too.
That one's on me. It's tough. So I mean, yeah, 10 questions. Could I do like? I'm not coming up with these. I'm not creating these. I'm taking a question I find on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So that question said the river that runs north was the Fox River.
Mm-hmm.
One of only a few in the nation, which there's another fucking one in Wisconsin, so why wouldn't have told me that? I didn't think I had to double check that, but my bad.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the housekeeping I had. We need to get some guests that are
a challenge for you.
Well, that, but not like ticky-tacky bullshit trying to screw me over.
Well, you knew a realtor and a lawyer were going to try to fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Not an
historically.
honest one in the bunch.
No. So, yeah, that's some housekeeping. Mitchell, who has been on before, he said that Jeff almost blew his eardrums out multiple times. So, I don't know if Jeff was just deep throating the mic and got really excited at some point. But sorry about that to anyone that experienced it. We did have an audio issue because the mic's cut out. We talked about it quick.
Mm-hmm.
I did keep the audio in there. Did you notice?
Must have grabbed it from the camera or something.
It wasn't perfect, but it was at least there.
Yep.
So that's something.
You do have $1 million policy for blown audio speakers, right?
Yes. Why did you blow some?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as you know.
Other people have commented that too. It's tough. Like I would literally have to go through and just listen to the whole thing and adjust levels. Like instead of just doing a broad, like each track, like bump it up. Like right now, Scott, your levels are going to be low because you're sitting a little further away from your mic. So,
Yeah, and I'm not going to change that.
If people would subscribe on YouTube so we could monetize it, maybe we could eventually hire an audio producer.
yes.
But
Yep.
people can't click that button, I guess.
We are up to 50.
Ooh.
Somebody
Been there.
we got to 50. All right. That's housekeeping. If we missed anything or if you listen later and you find out, that we fucked up something, let us know. Start with the National Day Of stuff, huh?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, first one, Scott. This is a newer format. I don't know the last time you listened, but we do this thing where we put stuff on the day against one another. So you get two things. You have to choose what you like more or what you would celebrate. December 13th is when you're listening. National Ice Cream Day versus...
Do you even have to finish?
Well, I always like to finish, so I'm going to. And we talked about this last episode, cocoa. Jeff likes to make cocoa, or was it you? No, Jeff said cocoa in the...
I said cocoa in the microwave.
You said cocoa, okay.
Yeah.
National Ice Cream Day versus National Cocoa Day, like hot cocoa. Which one are you going with?
Still sticking with ice cream.
Okay, and what's your ice cream?
We could go through the list.
Give me your favorite ice cream you buy from the grocery.
Oh my God! Again, there's so many options. Is there a bad ice cream? Honestly,
Yeah, there's ice cream I don't like.
Yeah, like mint chocolate chip.
I like that. Does that hurt you?
that might be my favorite.
Oh, see? There you go.
I don't even know if I can sit here anymore.
Not a mint ice cream guy myself. Sorry.
He doesn't like raisins either.
No, or craisins or cauliflower.
Especially together.
Just to recap for the listeners.
For those of you who haven't heard it a million times.
For those of you who make the famous cauliflower raisin salad.
Well, there is one salad with raisins and cauliflower in it, but the craisins would be different, I guess.
Well, it's just for
Right before you walked in, we had a meme that I found. I told Kyle, I said, beef jerky is just cow raisins. Which is a great name, I think.
And he's not eating beef jerky anymore now.
Yep. What a wimp.
Ruined
All right, so you're going ice cream day.
Absolutely.
Nice job. Celebrate with some
Yeah.
ice cream on the 13th.
I didn't get like this drinking cocoa. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, do what you got to do. Kyle, on the 13th, also, National Horse Day versus the National Guard's birthday.
National Guard's birthday. Shout out Greg.
It's an easy one. I know that you're not a horse guy.
Yeah.
What do
Not a fan of horses.
You always say something about them. They're filthy, or what do you say?
Big, stinky.
Huge
I don't
wiener.
know. I guess.
It's a jealousy thing, right?
It is, yeah. I think it is. So, yeah, Greg, happy National Guard's birthday on the 13th. I don't know how you celebrate that. They get a big cake.
Go guard the nation.
Guard the nation.
They celebrate it by trafficking like $2 billion in cocaine across the.
Are you making accusations?
No, I'm just saying,
Oh, like give them
because you
something
can
to
celebrate it with them then,
do. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, give them something to do and,
and
get your
also
ass
some
chased.
inmates.
Got it. Back to Scott. On the 14th of December, Free Shipping Day versus Roasted Chestnuts Day.
Whoa, and we're this close to Christmas.
Yeah.
As much as I like to ship my pants,
If it fits, it ships.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll ship my bed. I'll ship anything. Roasted chestnuts, though. I mean, there's so much tradition there. That's a tough one. But given that we've kind of moved into a lifestyle of shipping everything to us and not actually going out anymore, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna take over the spot, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Have you actually roasted chestnuts? Do you do that?
No, I just sing about it.
Okay. I don't think I've ever been anywhere or done it ourselves, seen it or anything. It's just something you hear about. Mm-hmm. Is that to eat them, or is that to like just have the ambiance, smell, and whatever else?
Dude, I have no idea.
I would imagine it's about, well, like, so my parents was a tradition. They would always serve a big thing of the nuts with the cracker and around Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I believe chestnuts were involved there. So
Okay.
So that's a nut you'd have to crack to eat what's inside. It's got like a shell that you have to get through first.
yeah, as far as I remember, there's a pretty hearty shell on those bad boys.
So, do you know what you have if you have chin nuts?
I don't know. I know a guy that knows. His name's BJ.
Yeah, you would know. All right. So, free shipping day. So, if you're somebody who sells stuff online, maybe offer free shipping on the 14th. Or take advantage of Amazon Prime or whatever else that offers free shipping.
They celebrate it quite frequently.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Year round, some may say.
Kyle, on the 15th of December, are you going with National Cupcake Day or Ugly Sweater Day?
I'm going to go with Cupcake Day.
Okay.
I mean, I like cupcakes. I could go the rest of my life without wearing an ugly sweater, so.
Now, do you own ugly sweaters for ugly sweater parties?
I do.
Are they ones that are like you bought from a company that made like new, fresh, hip, cool ugly
No,
sweaters?
I bought it from the women's section at Walmart.
Okay, that was what I was gonna ask, like, do you do like a thrifting for it? Do you have just one from a while ago? Okay. Scott, ugly sweaters, any?
Probably.
Yep. Just in your normal wardrobe.
Yeah, no, it's the only sweaters I like to wear. Once they're heinous.
Cupcakes. So, what cupcakes do you like? Homemade, or do you have like a bakery you go to, or
Yeah, I mean, homemade's good. I mean,
vanilla, chocolate?
yeah.
Oh, any of them. Mm-hmm. Are you a lot of frosting guy, or just a decent amount? Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. I want to be
Okay.
able to taste the cupcake.
Yeah, some of those like GGs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
way
too
too
much.
much frosting. It's just too much. You can't even get it in your suck hole.
And the cake tastes like fiberboard. I mean, it's,
Well, yeah, it's dry.
it's a terrible.
just
Oh, look at this
marketing.
amazing looking piece of complete crap.
Yep.
Yep. Scott, do you have any cupcake eateries that you like to go to?
I haven't been to a cupcake specific eatery that wasn't all fluff and no substance. Mm-hmm. I was at a wedding recently though, and whoever made the cupcakes killed it.
Really?
Oh my God, best cupcakes I've ever had. There wasn't a bad one in the bunch, and they had like half a dozen different flavors, and they were good looking, like well done, but also fantastic. And I couldn't tell you who it was, but yeah,
Okay.
they're out there.
Yeah.
They exist,
Yep.
just not at Gigi's.
Just a quick little stab after we already roasted them. Also on the 15th, Scott, are you going to celebrate, and this might sound different than it actually is, National Cat Herders Day or Regifting Day? And I'll give you a little background on Cat Herders Day. It's a celebration for people in management that manage other employees that are difficult and potentially are like herding cats.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Weird. It's
Yeah.
almost like I picked that one for you.
Almost. I mean,
I'm going to celebrate Cat Herders Day. So, just so you know.
since nobody wanted to celebrate National Bosses Day, well,
That came and went?
we'll do Cat Herders Day instead.
That came and went, huh?
We'll make it a thing.
Son of a gun.
It did. Wait, what was the other one again?
Regifting.
Regifting Day.
Which I think that's funny that so it's on the 15th of December. Does that mean, hey, whether you got it last year for Christmas or up until now, anything you received, like now use that for your Christmas gift maybe, if that's what you're celebrating.
I'm not going to tell you I'm celebrating that because that'd be a spoiler alert for your Christmas. But yeah, we'll go with Cat Herders.
All right. On the 17th, Kyle, are you celebrating Maple Syrup Day or the Wright Brothers Day?
Maple syrup day.
Oh, you don't care about flying planes, huh?
No, that's fine. I just don't really care about the Wright brothers.
Do you get the feeling that no matter what you would have said,
It's wrong,
it would
yeah.
have been oh, you don't like pancakes?
Yep.
Do you have a specific maple syrup brand you're loyal to?
No,
No.
I do not.
Now, usually when people say something like French fries, you say Freedom Fries or whatever else. Do you feel that way about maple syrup because it's coming from Canada usually?
No, not if you get it from Vermont or
So
Wisconsin.
you prefer the national Wisconsin
yeah, to
or
put on my
Vermont
Freedom Toast, yes.
on your Freedom Toast. Okay, there we go. So Canadian maple syrup, you're not a fan of.
I mean, if it's the only thing they've got, I'll use it in a pinch, but
All right. On the 18th, Scott, answer the phone like Buddy the Elf Day. I'm not shitting you.
Are you sure?
And it gets weirder. Versus National Wear a Plunger on Your Head Day.
Ooh.
And that, I tried to... Fuck. Nice
Made
shot. Made it. Tried to figure out what the fuck that was, and it's just some, like, funny guy or gal, I forget who it was, decided they wanted to do that to lighten the mood. So it became a thing that people started to actually do and celebrate.
I don't believe any of that.
Me either.
Who's Buddy the Elf?
Stop it. Nice shot.
that time I made it.
Buddy the Elf.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
That's how he answers the phone. Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Elf, the
Have you ever
movie.
seen the movie Elf? Will Ferrell
He
puts
hates
maple
Will,
syrup on
he
his
hates
spaghetti.
He hates Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Hate's a strong word.
does not find himself often amused by Will Ferrell.
He also puts chocolate Pop-Tarts on his spaghetti.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not s'more.
So you've not seen the movie?
No, I have not. I don't think I have.
Really?
Maybe
Wow.
I did. I don't know. Honestly, I liked Will Ferrell's
SNL stuff?
first movie. I didn't need to see it 7 other times with a different theme.
Got it. So I would say Elf is different than Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory. Those are all, what you just said. Elf is kind of a outlier.
I'll give it another shot.
And it's Christmas, so maybe just try it out.
I'll give it another shot.
Go into it with an open mind.
All right.
Pretend it's not Will Ferrell. Pretend it's Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, it's Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
And the other one?
So you're going to wear a plunger on your head?
I mean, that's a pretty strong theme in my household. Plungers. So,
I know our toilet in Indianapolis got a workout this last weekend, and there was not a plunger handy. Thank God we didn't need one. But
well, thank God we didn't stay at their Airbnb.
Oh yeah, there was a kind of a horror story. We'll get into that. So you're celebrating the plunger.
We're gonna just go with the plunger.
Strap it on your head.
Why
All right.
not?
Send us a picture when you do it. On
It'll
the
be
18th.
new, by the way. I want to go buy a new one
Okay.
just for that. It's a special occasion, of course.
Yeah.
They don't celebrate it properly.
Yep. All right. Also on the 18th, Kyle, are you going to celebrate the day of, the Republic of Niger, West Africa, Republic of Niger Day versus National Twins Day?
I'm going to go with National Twins Day.
Twins, Basil. Kyle's married to a twin.
That's pretty easy pick for me.
Yeah. Wait.
My mother's also a twin.
Which twin? What do you mean? Picking the twins was
Between
easy?
the 2 days.
Oh, got it. Okay. Sorry.
Fucking guy.
Not trying to get you in. I just didn't know what you were saying. And your mother's also a twin. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Do you ever get your wife and your mother confused?
No, I do
your
not.
mother and wife are twins? That is strange. I guess that is a Wisconsin Midwest thing, maybe.
I think that'd be more of an Alabama thing, but
They're actually, I don't know if it was, that'd be funny if it was the 18th. There was Alabama Day, and one of these National Day of is Alabama Day. So
the band or the state?
the state. Last one, Scott. Going back to your high school, college days, maybe. Are you celebrating National Emo Day or National Hard Candy Day?
Yeah, as much as I'd like to
What's your favorite emo band?
really get into the emo holidays, it's got to be Hard Candy.
Okay, what's your favorite hard candy then? Werther's Original. Knew it.
Whatever I pull out of my wallet.
You keep hard. Get your wallet out right now. You don't have hard candy in there.
Hashtag George Costanza.
Oh, he does that.
Yeah, that was an episode of Seinfeld. He pulls out his wallet. It's like thicker than a Snicker. He's like, what is that? Oh, I got hard candy.
Oh, that's
All right.
awesome.
That's our National Day of. So a lot of stuff to celebrate between release day and next week.
Yeah, sounds like it. There is 2 ways that we can handle birthdays because the 18th is just an absolute banger for celebrity birthdays. So we can either do them all on the 18th or we can go through the week. I'll leave that up to you guys.
I kind of like. How many do you have for the 18th? Do you have like enough to do 3, 4 for each of us, or 2 for each of us, or what do you got?
2 or 3 for each of you.
Wow. Okay.
We can skip one of the days. One of them wasn't very good, so yeah, we'll go through the week.
Okay.
All right. On the 13th, who wants to start? I don't know how
Guest.
I'm gonna.
Guess first.
All right, so then I'm gonna give you guys.
Crust first.
I'm gonna give both just so you can prepare yourselves. We have Coitus Wed Clinton for both of you. So Scott, it's gonna start with you. Taylor Swift turns 34 on the 13th. Jamie Foxx turns 56, and Steve Buscemi 66.
Steve Buscemi looks like he's always been 66.
Yeah, that's fair.
Actually, 66.
You know, Gotta shout out to T Swift. At 34 years old, she's probably accomplished more than 99% of other 34-year-olds. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's pretty good.
Now you're familiar with the game Coitus
Wed
Wed
Clinton.
Clinton.
Oh, that's what we're playing?
Yeah. So those are the three you got to go through. I mean, I personally, that is an easy one, but I'll let you go.
Oh, man. I stopped thinking after Taylor Swift.
Too bad she's using Travis Kelce to revive her career.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, shots fired. Oh, God.
I heard the Chiefs were going to move away from Taylor Swift and go to like
Selena Gomez.
Yeah. See what else they could do, you know.
And funny thing is, if you did marry Taylor Swift, you'd be, the relationship would be over soon. It'd be in a song and you'd be famous. So maybe that would be a good wed.
Yeah, especially if you can get around a prenup.
Yeah, you'd be in and out of that in a hurry.
Yep.
No pun intended. Or pun intended.
I did not see you choosing one of the guys to have sex with. But hey, who the fuck am I to judge?
Well, I mean, Jamie Foxx is also shenanigans. So, I mean, you can get creative there. And then, yeah.
Seems like you've thought about this.
Sorry, Steve.
Wow. When I said it was easy, I was Coitus Taylor, wed Steve, and see you later, Jamie. But
Jamie's probably got more money than Steve, though.
Steve would just be more fun.
Well, that's fair.
Well, and he'd probably die soon, too. So, it'd be a short courtship.
Actually, Jamie Foxx was in rough shape recently.
Is he?
Really?
Yeah, there was like something that he had going on. Like they were hiding him from the public or like, I don't know what it was.
That was Bruce Willis.
That's probably a lot of people.
We've
actually.
made fun of Bruce Willis a little bit too much.
Okay, Michael J. Fox.
Wow.
That's
Sorry, I'm just trying
Jamie's brother.
Just trying to shake things up.
All right, moving on.
No, fuck.
To
I
Denver.
didn't mean that.
On the 14th, which of these guys are you going to do hood rat shit with?
Okay.
You got Offset turning 32,
So we'll
And-
be shot.
DK Metcalf turning 26.
DK Metcalf, because he's a fucking tank and he can kill anyone. Like, he will frighten someone to death. That man. He's
That's
my man.
true. He's a big guy,
Dude, he's jacked.
super athletic.
Very. He's my man. We're doing hood rat shit.
All right.
In Seattle. Like, beating the fuck out of people with, like, the fish they throw at the market.
Well, that's not going to be that hard. Half of them are fucking doped up on heroin anyway.
true.
All right.
Or coffee.
Or coffee.
Hey, same
Starbucks. Yeah, it's just heroin for
Productive people.
white girls in yoga pants and Uggs.
Have you guys gotten a chance to discuss the origins of the Starbucks mermaid yet?
No. But you're going to tell us about it right now.
Right now. I'm not going to do that, actually.
All right.
All right, so then on the 15th, I don't know what to do for this one.
Wait, this will be fun. So it's for Scott, right? It's his turn.
Scott's turn.
Is it two people?
It is two people.
I don't know who they are.
Okay.
Scott, who would you rather have be the sunscreen applicator for your wife?
Oh, that'll work. Don Johnson turning 73 or Adam Brody turning 44.
Who's Adam Brody?
He was like
I don't know.
like a teen heartthrob. I think he was on like the OC or something. One of those like girly shows.
If Jeff's listening, he'll like know who that is right away. He's obsessed
Yeah.
with the OC.
Seriously?
Yep, he was telling me about it.
Well, honestly, I mean, it would be quite a gift, I think, for it to be Don Johnson, because I think she was a big fan. So,
Really?
yeah.
Who is Don Johnson?
Miami Vice.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That's nice of you. Make sure you tell her that when you go home.
Yeah, I just
set her
hired
up.
Don Johnson to apply sunscreen to you. You got to pick the day.
Yep.
And hopefully
Maybe save that for Christmas. Be like, this is really strange, I know.
put it in the stocking. Just be like, what?
You could probably. Is he alive still?
Who? Don Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's turning 73.
You could get a cameo from him probably.
Oh.
At this point, for probably like $30.
You should tell him you want him to say that he's going to be the sunscreen applicator.
That would be awesome.
Your next vacation you go on.
All right, I'll work on that. I'll make a note of it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Denver. On the 17th, we're skipping the 16th. Happy birthday, Beethoven and Jane Austen.
Oh, the
I
gorilla
want to
lady.
talk about them.
No, novelist.
Oh, who's the gorilla lady that was like Jane Goodall? Jane Goodall.
Yes. Yep, there you go.
Way cooler.
All right, so whose pie are you going to intercourse between these guys? Eugene Levy turning 77, or Manny Pacquiao's, who turns 44? One of them is going to kick your ass.
Levy. Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Pacquiao.
American pie.
Yeah, not for I, but Levy's pie. Yep, love it.
Nice.
Because
All
it's
right.
American.
It's America.
It is American.
This is America.
All right, back to Scott. We're on to the 18th now. Big hitters. All right, so you have a Hell in a Cell WWE match against one of these two. Who are you taking? Stone Cold Steve Austin, who turns 59, or Brad Pitt, who turns 60?
I got to go with Brad Pitt.
You think you can beat up Brad Pitt?
He's 60.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold's 59 and has bad knees.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Brad Pitt's probably got a lot of internal damage from his life. So they don't talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. And Steve Austin could still snap me in half.
But imagine
on his knees
having the opportunity to give Stone Cold the stunner. That would
Or
be
the rock bottom.
Ooh.
And then the people's elbow.
Yep. And then a choke slam.
And then a tombstone pile driver.
And I'm sure all of this means something to somebody.
And what was the
It's
other
real
one?
to me, damn it.
A diamond cutter? What did
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And then the
Is that like a
pedigree.
turd cutter?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us what a turd cutter is?
It's the thing you cut turds with. Seems obvious.
My mouth?
Exactly.
All right, so then we go on to we'll do your coitus Wenton, coitus Wed Clinton, and
Easy for you to say.
just so you know, all three are dead already.
Yes.
So you have DMX, Joseph Stalin, and Ray Liotta.
Oof. Ray Liotta is always like scary and sweaty
And dead.
and but I'm getting to pick these people when they're alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't kill an already dead person.
Well, I am going to. Who's the middle one?
Joseph Stalin. Not very good, dude.
Yeah. God.
I think you're going to be judged if you kill anybody but Joseph
Yeah.
Stalin.
I know. I'm
He
trying
did
to
have a lot of power, though.
He did. And people kill their spouses all the time. So I could flip it on him, first year, just kind of be distant, and second year, start poisoning him. Yeah.
Seems like a lot of thought.
I'm going to coitus DMX. He's probably going to be the one coitusing me, actually. And then wed Ray Liotta. Actually, you know what? No, these two. I don't
He at
like
least
him.
did one of the voices in one of the Grand Theft Autos. If that helps you.
I think marrying DMX would be more entertaining. I just don't want to have sex with Ray Liotta. But that's what we're doing, and we're fucking having the Clintons hang out with Stalin. So
Nice.
fuck. That was a tough one. That's bullshit.
That was a tough one.
Probably already hanging out.
Yeah.
All right, back to Scott. Are you gonna get dirty with Christina Aguilera, turns 43, or do you wish you were gay for Billie Eilish, turning 22? I had to look up what her songs were, so Apparently, that's one of her songs.
Oh, okay.
Wish You Were Gay.
Got it. Didn't know that.
Yeah, didn't she just come out or something?
She did.
Or she's like bi, maybe. I don't
Try.
know.
All those kids are nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty young.
And just not attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, hon.
Sorry, hon.
good.
It's weird when you call her hon after you're just supposed to.
It's gonna be Christina Aguilera.
I respect that. That's what I've done as well. Getting dirty with her.
Pretty awesome voice.
Yeah, Kyle's
For the
just
singing,
about-
right? For the singing
Yeah.
only, yeah.
Let her serenade you. Yeah. All right, Denver. You have to pick your sunscreen applicator. If you get an erection, though, the other one gets to kick you in the testicles as hard as they possibly can. Oh my God. Are you
This is the hottest thing I've ever heard.
And one of them's Chris Jackie.
That would be awesome. Unfortunately, it's not.
And the other's Pele.
Are you going with Katie Holmes, who turns 45?
Was she in
Wasn't she
movies
married?
or TV shows?
Yes.
A little of both.
Okay.
Wasn't she was the one who was married to
Zach.
Yes. Tom Cruise.
Thank you. Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
okay. Yeah.
Or Trish Stratus turns 48.
Oh, she was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Oof.
She was my wife in Project Me. Remember that back in school?
Oh, I totally forgot about Project Me. Wow. Shout out Miss Rendler. Do you think she's or Mrs. Rendler? Do you think they still have those, or did we get them back?
We got them back.
Damn it.
I don't know. Do you still have it?
I don't think so.
I think for the sake of your nuts, you might want to go with Katie Holmes.
No.
Because then Trish will get to kick him.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm going with Trish. She looks like she's got strong hands, which I like a good, kind of massage.
Well, she's a dude, so.
That sounds hideous.
That could be true. I have no idea. But Trish, lather me up.
All right. And then for the final pairing for the 18th, Scott. One of these two gets to plan a whole day, and you have to do whatever is on their list. You going with Steven Spielberg, turns 77, or Keith Richards, turns 80.
I don't want to die of a drug overdose, so I'm going to go with Steven Spielberg.
That's fair.
What a wimp.
Because I feel like that would be the plan. Like,
Yeah.
beginning to
going out
end.
A lot of substances.
Today's the day.
Here, hold
He's
this
like,
needle.
I've made it 80 years. I don't need to make it another day.
You do realize that mere humans would die by half of what he probably does in a day. So, yeah, Spielberg all the way.
Yeah, that could get rough. And then on the 19th, the only birthday that matters, happy birthday, Bryn. Turns 8.
Nice.
My youngest.
Yep. Happy birthday, Bryn. Those were some good birthdays. Wow. Scott, do you have any birthdays that fall between, any in December that you wanted to mention?
Probably.
Weren't prepared for this.
I'll have to check Facebook.
Yep.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Facebook, I'd forget my own birthday.
Really?
Oh, another birthday. Just thought of. Release day, right? The 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, friend of the program, Dustin.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know if I know any. I'm sure I do. I can't think of any. Beau sent me a picture. It was Mitchell's yesterday, I think, or the day before. 2 days ago? I don't know. Beau sent me a picture of him shotgunning a Twisted Tea in a parking lot or something, celebrating.
Isn't he turning 20?
I don't know. He was just celebrating. That's all I'm saying. Maybe the tea was only slightly twisted, not fully twisted. That gets us through the normal opening, big two, if you will. Got to come up with a catchy name for that, or just National Day versus. No, because they don't go against each other. Anyway, so that's kind of a standard opening that we do for the new listeners or people that are just checking this out. And then today we have a special guest, Scott. Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself or what we're going to maybe be talking about?
Well, I think I landed this esteemed seat to talk a little bit about our most recent weekend.
Yeah.
and motorsports marketing, motorsports in general, being ridiculously stupid on camera.
Who was that?
You, obviously. I mean, I don't want to have you hold it there forever.
Not to twist your arm.
Right, yeah.
All right. Local business owner, a guy who is a race car enthusiast, racing enthusiast, a gentleman looking to expand his to-do list into sports and racing marketing and some other stuff. Therefore, we went to a trade show in Indianapolis called PRI.
No free ads.
No free ads. Although, it was pretty fucking sweet, so free ad. The PRI stands for Performance Racing Industry, and they have the show in Indianapolis every year, roughly.
And they're the racing part of, like SEMA.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, same people. SEMA is Special Equipment Manufacturers Association.
Okay.
Specialty equipment. Yeah, so all this is basically just really cool stuff for cars. And then the racing is the very specific to racing version of that.
And all sorts of different racing.
Yeah.
Dirt track, circle track, road racing, drag racing.
Did I see go-karts?
Lots of kart stuff.
Yeah.
Racing simulators, so video game shit. There had to have been, I was thinking about it this morning, if you were to take from every booth, display, this, that, whatever that was there, cars included, there had been close to $100 million of product, display, vehicles, equipment, video game. Like in this,
Holy
it was a
crap.
gigantic show.
And this is open to the public, or do you have to be like in the industry to be able to get in?
Yeah, you in the industry and a member of PRI
Okay.
to go. But being a member it's like $40 and then you can go for free.
Oh, nice.
It's extremely affordable to be a member and go to the show.
Yeah. And yeah, so just an example about about costs. So I ran a simulator for a little bit while this jackass taunted me from behind with a camera.
I tried to stop him, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, I at one point I completely Chicago trafficked the entire second half of the field because I spawned on a fairly narrow piece of track, and everybody had to stop for me to get going again.
We got video of it. It's great.
But I mean, I almost caught up to the rest of the pack, so I felt pretty good about that. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I asked the guy about this, and this is fun. I don't know if you were giggling a little bit when I asked him, because he's like,
"Oh no,
yeah, oh no, 27 and it's yours." I'm like, "Oh, 2,700, really?" And he's like, "No, 1,000." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
For a simulator?
This is above my
Holy crap!
pay grade. Yeah, so there
That
was
wasn't
four of
even-
them sitting there. So
that
they had
wasn't
over
even
100K just sitting there in simulators. And what was there, 100 simulators throughout
probably.
or at least 50 or 60 throughout the show.
Yeah,
Various levels, but
there probably were quite a few that were 2,000 or 4,000 in that range, and then there was quite a few that were 20, 30, 40, 50,000.
Yeah.
Like the whole seat fucking shit. You put the brakes on, you lean forward because the car is leaning forward.
Holy shit!
Rumble seat, all the stuff.
It's not like the stuff you're walking into a regular arcade.
No.
A little more advanced than that.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. It's it was a little hard to get used to because you're experiencing these feelings on a simulator, and it doesn't exactly equate to what you would feel if you were in the car, but so it takes a second to kind of calibrate your butt for the way everything feels when you're doing it. But yeah, crazy.
That's awesome. Did the like go-kart track that it looked like, right? Mm-hmm. That was a go-kart track. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Could you guys have jumped on that too if you wanted, or?
I didn't ask the questions, and I don't know. They seemed to have some sort of competition going, so maybe that was pre-planned or something.
Yep.
And guys were out there qualifying, and then they were running their races. But when they ran the races, it was brutal to watch. Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it
what
wasn't
you
the
found.
most exciting thing because it was like they're electric, and it was like a slick track. I don't know if they wanted it to be that way. That was normal, or that's just what they couldn't be on the. I assume it's concrete that we were walking on. Maybe it wasn't.
Well, and they had treaded tires, so I think that was the plan. Maybe.
Okay. This was in Lucas Oil Stadium. One part of the show was inside on the floor.
Like on the field or whatever if they were playing.
Yep. So yeah, it was kind of cool to watch the karting, but I mean, it could have been far better, I think. But it was something to see.
Yeah, a lot of crashing. It was like
spin outs,
3/4 of a green lap followed by 3 yellow laps.
Oh, jeez,
it was pretty bad.
Brutal.
It was like NASCAR.
So yeah, there's 2 different expo halls, and then Lucas Oil Stadium, all of which is connected by tunnels or skywalks, so you don't even have to go outside. Anything from parts that go into an engine to fuel to racing suits to trailers you haul the car in to the simulator stuff.
Yeah,
and
if you can think
so
of
on.
it was there.
Huh.
And then if you can't think of it, it might
It was
also
still
been
there.
there. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, like CNC machines, like all the shit to like make parts and different stuff. So a wide variety of applications for people that are in the racing industry or anything to do with vehicles.
Dynos.
Multiple former guest, Matt, he was very interested or knew what it was when I sent the video. He said he wanted to go. Nick, circle track racer, he was like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to go forever. He knows, I don't know how many different companies that they buy shit from that they use on their car. I'm sure Shay is very familiar. Clinton, those guys that are always going to Road America, I'm sure they've seen or thought about going to the show. And yeah, would highly recommend it. And then the nightlife, the city. That was my first time being in Indianapolis, as an adult at least. I don't know if I've been there previously, but
And I don't know if you're qualified to call yourself an adult either, but
okay.
So like cool city overall, or
Yeah, I thought so.
it's live. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about State Street, if it at its best, it was that. It was just, the bars, all the cool bars had lines out in front of them, but there was so many places. There's so many bars, so many restaurants, great food.
So it was more like districts though. Like it wasn't just one solid street. There was that, and then there's little like offshoots, little districts where there'd be 3, 4, 5 things. Then you drive a little bit or walk a little bit or use a scooter, and which that was fucking fun. I didn't look at my receipts, but I think we spent probably each $60 to $70 on scooter rides, I would imagine.
If that's the case, I don't want to look at my receipts because I didn't really think we spent that much on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually, I was very hesitant to jump on that in the first place, and I was pretty happy we did. That was pretty awesome.
Well, it was so easy for you to like start and stop and be done.
I had some issues.
Scott had a small issue with when you're trying to end the ride. It just kept telling him he was parked in a spot you can't like end the ride. So he's just cursing and driving the fucking thing because they're like geography like based where they'll shut down or they won't let you drive in certain areas.
Yep.
And it just was not happy with how Scott was trying to end the ride, even though I had just done it directly next to him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, same scooter, same company.
And
I
was
was 3 inches away from where I was, and it's telling me I'm in a no parking zone or something like that.
So I'm
And
like, just drive over there a little bit. And he looks at me and shakes his head, and then he keeps driving, looks back, shakes his head. And I walk over to him, and of course I'm trying to be very helpful. I'm not making fun of him or laughing whatsoever.
Sounds like you.
And he's like, I'm going to fucking throw this thing through a fucking window. I'm like, well, that's going to get more expensive. He's like, it's still charging me right now. And he's just like, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
Turns out I didn't have location services on. That was it.
On his phone. Yep.
That's a good pointer. I would have not thought about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just the troubleshooting, it took a little bit longer to get to that. I think I maybe suggested it, maybe helped out there.
Mine also had a little bit of little throttle lag.
Oh.
It took a while for the throttle to actually kick in, and then
Those were birds. We used limes on the last day, I believe, last evening.
yeah.
And those were a little bit torquey. I would almost prefer the lime, I think.
Yeah, the lime seemed like it was a little hot roddy.
Yeah. And did it say you weren't supposed to ride on sidewalks?
I believe it said that a lot.
Everybody was. And the sidewalks are big, but there's still a lot of people, a lot of traffic. And then being that it was that weekend, there's some crazy drivers. So it was also like I didn't want to be in the fucking street with those people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
a
we
lot
saw
of
one.
700 horse cars shredding tires everywhere. So
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
we saw one group that had to have been 15 to 20 strong of like mechanics or racers or whatever they were, and they were pretty belligerent or having a good time, and they're weaving up ramps and like
oddly coordinated. They were like a flock of birds.
they were they very like had their shit together. They were doing good, but like jumping steps with them and stuff.
Oh,
and
boy.
hooting and hollering. I'm like, yeah, we should get away from this. I don't want to be by this.
Yeah.
We're slightly outnumbered and they're insane. Some really cool places though. We saw a comedy show which was just unplanned. Saw Brian Callen.
Oh, really?
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah, that was a really great way to end the last night.
We walk out of
nice.
dinner, and Scott's like, "Oh," and we'd seen one the night before, a different comedy club, I think, or maybe 2 nights prior, and we looked it up, and there wasn't really anything going on. Mm-hmm. And then the last night, Saturday night, we walk out of dinner, and there's a different comedy club right there, and I'm like, "Oh, cool." Scott looks it up, and he's like, "Yeah, it says Brian Callen." I'm like, "Brian Callen, let me see." And I was like, "Holy fuck, that's." Whatever. He's from The Hangover. He's with Joe Rogan. He talked about that in his stand-up stuff. So it was a great show. The guy before him, I forget his name, but he was this Italian dude.
Phil something or
Maybe. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Younger
I don't know.
guy. I mean, maybe mid-30s-ish from New York. Italian. A lot of good, like, Italian content. The guy who opened, who did he look like?
Fortune Feimster.
They have a poster. Fortune Feimster has played there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It apparently still is.
He looked, and I don't know who that is. It's a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he's a local dude
Okay.
Yeah. But
I've not heard of
with a
this
small
guy, but-
mouth.
yeah, he's like, his biggest
His
insecurity or whatever was how he's got a very small mouth. And he's like, and I can make it smaller. And then he did it. He's like, it's like having a little butthole on your face. And he just like looked. He talked about his boobs at one point. He's a very large, like tall and kind of like
Like a linebacker.
walrus-looking person with like curly blonde hair. It's just not a good look. There's a lot of bad stuff going for him. And then he does stand-up comedy. But
I think he was kind of hoping that just walking out there would be funny enough because
Yeah.
his writing's a little meh. But yeah. But props for the effort. 'Cause
I would
it's hard.
recommend Brian. If you have the opportunity to see Brian Callen, I would do it. I mean, assuming the price was fair, it was what, 30 a ticket?
Yeah.
35 a ticket.
Yeah, $30 a ticket is pretty.
Especially last minute. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, and we got great seats, and yeah, it was awesome.
Shitload of entertainment for that.
Shitload.
Yeah. Nice.
A lot of good food. Oh my god, dude! I was like putting on my fucking clothes this morning. I'm like, holy shit! I gained like 9 pounds. Also, like Scott ordered a 22-inch pizza at one point.
Is that what he did? That was Scott that did that, huh?
So the first night, we wanted to have some food because we didn't get a chance to eat with like the opening reception and whatever else. And then we find this pizza place. No free ads. Goodfellas, was it?
Yeah.
And Scott had me order. He was going to buy. So I was looking, and I'm like, oh, they have a 12-inch, a 16-inch. And I was like, oh, a 22-inch. I'm pretty hungry. That sounds
That'll
good.
feed 2 guys.
That'll easily feed 2 people. Nothing to worry about there.
Yeah. No.
So we
No
we
worries.
drive over to get to the place 'cause it was like it's a 10-minute drive, not even, but didn't want to walk. And I sent Scott in to go get it, and he doesn't know what we're getting.
I have a feeling this clip is going to end up somewhere in this video.
Absolutely. And I start filming when I think he's about to come out, and sure as shit, he's got to wedge himself out of the door to carry this fucking giant pizza box down the sidewalk.
It's like that picture, right? I mean, it was
Holy crap.
comically large.
It's insane. Like, he set it on the bed when we got back to the hotel room. It took up a quarter of the bed. A guy made a comment in the elevator, like, what the hell is that?
If there was a tsunami coming through town, I could have just jumped on that and surfed out of there.
So that was awesome. What other food did we have? We had that last restaurant we went to, stuffed pepperoni sticks, breadsticks, or something like that.
Yeah, was it a stuffed pretzel?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Pepperoni and mozzarella stuffed pretzel with a big tub of cheese
Oh my god!
and then some marinara.
That
Interesting
sounds
thing
amazing.
about that restaurant, Kilroy's, was it?
Yeah.
Seat yourself. The entire huge fucking restaurant. They were busy as hell too. So you literally just go in there and you hover and like wait for a table to open up. I had never seen that big of a place.
It was
use
quite
that.
literally the Hunger Games because
It was.
you would have killed somebody on the way to try to get a chick. Because it was like, it was a free-for-all.
It was.
Somebody gets up out of a chair, you got to get it before somebody else does. And so it was it was
very strange.
Kind of a weird vibe. And I felt bad for the people that were sitting at that booth because we got an inside tip from one of the waitresses. Like, is somebody about to leave? And she's like, yeah, they just closed their check. You keep your eyes on them. So we just hovered over them like vultures, just circling.
We kept a respectable distance, but we just stared at them a little bit, maybe.
A little bit. I'm fairly certain at some point they figured out that we were
Trying to
eyeing
poach
up
their
their
table.
seat.
Yeah, but they could have done it to somebody. Who knows? That's just the way that
Might have
place
been how they
operates.
got it, right?
That's the way it operates. So,
Interesting.
other than that, I'm trying to think some of the other food that we had.
Oh, and then the dry rub.
Oh, the
wings.
dry rub wings were good. Spicy. Had some like sugar on there too, or something.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there, and and we had 2 appetizers, and we were both like, I can't order anything else.
Oh, that's right.
It was so much.
The big Long Island iced tea that I sent you guys. It was a pitcher,
Oh,
the
yeah.
blue one.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a chalkboard of like a big like on the wall chalkboard, probably 20 feet tall, of all the shots and bombs and Long Islands they have there that they're known for. So I had to get one.
This is why you weren't going to drink tonight because of that, or
Well, we had a lot of alcohol. I mean, we worked from 4 p.m. every day, 5 p.m. or something, Thursday through Saturday.
by 12:30, he was like shakes already. He was looking for his
just
first beer.
jonesing.
That's not completely true, but yeah. So great nightlife, great restaurants. We didn't even see half of what there was to offer, I'm sure. Oh, McCormick and Schmick or Schmid's
Schmicks. Yeah, McCormick and Schmicks.
steakhouse or restaurant.
They are steakhouse heavy, and that's probably because of all the sports teams and stuff like that. They want good places. But their most famous one is St. Elmo's. I would have loved to got in there, but that was booked probably well in
solid.
advance.
Yeah.
They have an offshoot restaurant called Harry and Izzy's. Same great food, little more casual. Also booked solid.
There's one called Weber Grill, like an actual
Yeah,
Weber
Weber
Grill.
Grill. There's the Capitol Grill. There was Hyde Park. I mean, there's just so many steak places.
But the one we went to, incredible.
Fantastic, yeah.
What
Great-
was the appetizer we got?
Great waitress. Calamari.
Calamari, and then the steak was incredible. The waitress was awesome. The drinks were great. So yeah, they know. I mean,
Wedge salad. Fantastic.
tons of like the places were huge, but they have tons of people working. There's like I never saw anywhere that would have been deemed short staffed,
Yeah, they seemed like they were pretty well.
and they like the servers were good too. They liked their job, or they were at least good at it. But what is there a college right there in Indianapolis? I saw a lot of people wore Purdue jerseys, but Purdue was a little bit out of town, right?
Yeah.
I forget.
I want to say.
But like right downtown there, you have Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yep.
Not far away where the Pacers play, and then like all these like restaurant and like bar and stuff, district stuff. So I would recommend going there. I'd go maybe more summer or fall, but that might make the homeless and crime type stuff more prevalent. There really wasn't a lot of that. There's a lot of police presence, like for just security purposes, like on the busy streets where the like lines for the bars, like they shut a block down. They just have police on the street patrolling, watching, making sure shit doesn't go wrong. So there's
Makes
it's
sense.
like
So they got
it's
their shit together.
Yeah, it's a safe city, I would say.
University
Relatively
of Indianapolis, Marion University,
safe. That sounds like
Butler, IUPUI, Martin International Business College, Ivy Tech.
So all sorts of schools right there.
I mean, wow. Yeah, tons. Ball State.
Ball State.
Nice.
I don't know. No, I take that back. Is this all there?
Excuse me.
I don't know. Yeah.
Did you just
I guess
type in
it is.
American colleges?
Indiana,
Harvard.
Indiana University School
University of
of
Wisconsin.
UCLA.
You're just reading colleges now. It's okay. We get it.
ITT Technical Institute, Indianapolis. No, this is all in Indianapolis. That's crazy. There's like 25.
Wow. So how big is the city then?
Scott, while you're on the the Google.
Yeah, well, I'm on the googly.
Like, what's it comparable to, would you
I
say,
mean,
from what you saw?
It's similar to a Milwaukee, I would say, like the downtown area of Milwaukee.
Okay.
But
Safer?
Milwaukee's kind of like that, where you have like the river like district, you have this, the Deer district, whatever,
Yep.
Fiserv.
882,000.
I would say the street and like block setup, like getting from place to place, was way easier in Indianapolis than even like downtown Madison.
Okay.
It's much more quadrant, like easy to go from here to here to here.
Yeah.
Oh, tell the story. So we go to, what was the place? It was an Irish, no, Rayburn's or something. It had the 3 levels. So we walk in. It's kind of narrow.
Yeah.
I'll set the scene for you.
Thanks.
It's kind of narrow, a little bit long. The main floor is pretty full. And the security guard, when we walked in, he's like, we have 3 levels. Like, oh, okay, cool. This one's pretty busy. Let's check out the second right away. Get up there, and it's a little weirder setup. There's a bar in the back and this and that. This is strange. Let's see what the third
Well,
looks
like they had 2 private parties in there or something. It was, yeah.
There's like a sweater party.
It was a little weird. Yeah.
So let's check out the third place. So Scott leads the way up the steps to the third level, and that you can go left or right. And Scott decides to go left. And what did you happen upon?
I happened upon a nice young lady that was mauling a dude
So there's just like some
on
couches
a couch.
there's like some couches and stuff. And he just like gives me this look and turns around, and we walk the other way, and there's a bathroom right there. And he goes to the bathroom, and I go into the other part, and there wasn't a bar, and it was just like some guys hanging out. I'm like, all right, this is weird. I'm like, well, I want to go see what he saw. So I walk back there, and they were just getting started again, but they like hear my footsteps, and she's like turns, she's like, hi. I was like, hey, no bar? She's like, nope. And I just turned around, and they went right back at it. They were just having it was, I mean, they looked like they were having a good time. It was consensual.
So third floor was the brothel, or
Third floor was the brothel. So
I guess they weren't expecting anybody to make the trip to the third floor.
I guess, yeah.
Hey, look, a private room.
what time of day was this?
9-ish.
I don't know.
In the morning? Wow.
Yeah. No, it was.
Yeah, I
it
sort of
wasn't-
lost track of time.
I mean, so that was after we went to the steak restaurant, and then Scott had his fiasco with the scooter for about 45 minutes, and then we went into that bar. So yeah, maybe it was 1 a.m. by the time we were done with the scooter.
Who knows?
I'm just kidding. And then what else was?
So we were fighting over where to go next, and we turned out we were fighting right in front of a bar. And he's like, "Let's go here." So we went inside this bar, and like typical dive bar, whatever. It was perfect. People have character, but there wasn't a lot of people in there, so get a couple drinks and wander into the back room, and the back room's got like some games, and unfortunately Golden Tee was shut down. But they had one of those giant Connect 4 games.
Like outdoor version, like kids, like big outdoor Connect 4.
So Denver got all excited, and he was like, well, we're doing that.
Well, I didn't know Scott went to state for Connect 4 when he was in high school. But he did. He just wiped the floor with me 3 or 4 times in a row, and then I finally start to win.
Yeah.
Just keep playing a little bit.
Yeah, so he wins. I completely was focused on something else. I had like a rock star setup ready to take him down, and then I wasn't paying attention. He drops the last one and finishes his. I'm like, all right. And then he's like, well, we'll keep going and see who could score the most. And then, not realizing that I was 1 plink away from 2. So then I took the lead. And then one of the pins that releases the things shot out of one side, and everything dumped out.
It's just like, I was like, what the fuck was that? And we're sitting right next to each other, looking at it. It's up against the wall, basically. There's nobody else around. And we both just look at each other, and we're like,
So that place is haunted?
So I get up, and I walk straight to the front of the bar, and I go, excuse me, miss, is this place haunted? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, seriously? She goes, oh, yeah, I call her Brenda. Well, and there's another guy, but we know him. I'm like, okay.
What the hell?
And then she goes, yeah, usually she just rearranges the mirrors and the chips and stuff like that. But why? What happened? And so I told her.
So yeah, it was like a super old.
Check.
That's awesome.
It was a super old bar. Don't remember the name of it. I maybe have a picture I can look through and find it, but super old bar, not very nice. Did smell like sewage. You were saying that. It's
Yeah.
like, God, is that in here, or did I smell that outside? And we're like, oh no, it's in here. So Brenda shit her pants and pulled the Connect 4 pin, and we got the fuck out of there.
I don't think she liked you, honestly.
Yeah, because I finally won.
Part of the deal.
She was on your team.
Yeah. Well, like, and that's the cool thing too, is like everything seems to be like an old converted building.
Oh yeah,
Bob's Tiki Bar,
um,
formerly Bob's Tiki Bar.
not Blues Brothers, but we saw live music. 2 different bands were playing in that one that we went to. This Is It, or the Slippery Nipple.
Slippery Nipple. Yeah.
Yeah, old like house, like I don't
Yeah.
know if it
What they said was the
house.
oldest bar in Indianapolis. It was like 1850.
Really cool. Really cool. So a lot of stuff like that. And then there's like new fancy big places and Punch Bowl Social. Okay. Punch Bowl Social. Remember we went there for my bachelor party?
Yep.
There wasn't like a wait list where like when we walked in, I mean, there's maybe a way to like sign up for games and stuff. Mm-hmm. But we walk into this place. First of all, the bouncer guy.
Which you won't.
It's either that or how can I help you? And
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, it's how can I help you? Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we wanted to drink and play some games. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm not I'm not like a proprietor.
Do you work here?
Yeah. And he's like, we're booked. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's just like we want to play darts or something. And then he couldn't really understand, like, didn't know it wasn't working. So he's like, you can go to the bar, and the bar is just right there. There's a little bar. I'm like, this is weird. This is not like we went to one in Milwaukee too.
Yep.
Like, this is nothing like what I've experienced. I think this is the same place. We asked the bartender, and he was a fucking prick too. These are the only 2 people that we dealt with in Indianapolis that weren't like on their shit or like pleasant. And I was like, so like, you guys have a private event tonight, or like, what's up? Why can't we play any of the games? He's like, we're booked solid. And I was like, I thought it was just like first come, first serve. He's like, well, yeah, it is. And I'm like, well, you just said you're booked solid. I'm like, can't we just like go and watch or anything? And he like didn't really like answer that. Turned out we went in like they have 2 entrances.
Okay.
And we went in one that maybe wasn't like the front or the primary entrance. But they wouldn't let us like go into the area where everything was. It was fucking weird. So Punch Bowl Social in Indianapolis, take it off your list. Don't fucking go. Shitty drinks. You said your orange juice tasted like a butthole or whatever. Sunny
I
D.
think I said Sunny D, but yeah, same.
So don't go there. Everywhere else that we've mentioned, definitely check out.
No, you know what was funny too is that there was the bartender, and she was clammed up. Like, she wasn't smiling. She wasn't she looked like she just was oh, I hate my job. This place sucks. And then she came over and she was kind of, she asked if we needed a drink or whatever. And we were like, no, we're good. And
we had her close out the check.
Yeah. And and then she's doing some stuff and she dumps like the entire thing of silverware or something on the ground.
No.
And then it was, then all of a sudden she's laughing and we're laughing and everything
Scott's
was
just
great.
like looking at her. He's like, I didn't see anything. Straight faced. And she's like, yeah, nothing happened. As it was just like a fucking like cymbal was like dropping on the floor. Oh, that was funny. And I think the other bartender was jealous, like that we were, talking to her. Like he was like staring her up and down the entire time. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not.
He was a creepy old fuck. He wasn't like a normal bartender.
Anyhow, everything about that guy was just. How are you a bartender? You were like the most, like, I don't know. He was just had a weird, like, you're an idiot attitude about everything.
Yep. Started with his haircut. It was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about that fella for a while, but
so yeah, that place, just skip it. But the comedy club was awesome. So you had to go into like this little mall area to enter the comedy club. Inside there was like Georgia Brown's, or I forget the name of the little like jazz bar.
Yeah, it was something, the Georgia, whatever. It
was like
R&B,
jazz bar,
blues, whatever,
we
rhythm and blues club.
And we were the only folks in there that
hadn't had much sun.
So we're just like the minority. It was a bar specific to those folks, and which was fine. Everyone was really nice to us, but we go back there later when it's busy because we were there before the show. It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, the band was setting up when we were there, and then
we're like, oh, we can stop back by and see the live music. It's jazz. It's something cool, whatever. When we walked back in, what was he playing? Like Juicy by Notorious B.I.G.? Like it wasn't jazz. It was like it was a little bit of an instrumental version of like a hip hop, like a cool song. Mm-hmm. The security guard and the girl taking the money for people to get in, like they were not impressed that we were there. And there was a private party in front of us, and they're like taking IDs for those people. And they're like, and those two are with you? And this girl looked at us, and she couldn't have been more upset that they thought we were with that group.
Think we'd be with these pale faces?
she happened to be white.
She was, but she was one that was not.
But
she
didn't
think
identify.
Correct. She did not identify as being Caucasian, but she was upset, and her boyfriend or whatever was just like, and they like basically just laughed at us.
Yeah. What was he, like 6'7", 350?
Yeah, so I just looked at
dude
my
was
shoes.
A monster. He was huge.
And then we finally get up there, and she's like, all right, the lady, she was very nice. She's like, all right, sugar, $20 to get in. I was like, we were in here earlier for free, and the drinks are expensive as fuck. The music is not good. At that point, you're like, I don't think they're actually playing any of the instruments. They're just holding them, pretending.
Oh, yeah. And so that was the other thing. Like the guy might have been rapping.
Yeah.
It was hard to say, but I was watching the drummer. I have a habit. I mean, I'm a drummer. So I always, first thing I do is focus, because he had a nice kit. He had a Roland
you had
electronic
looked at
kit
it before when we were in there. You were eyeing it up.
Really nice electronic Roland kits, the kind, not that it's not like pads, but it's actual drums that are triggered and all this stuff. It's really nice. Probably $5,000 for this kit. And I was like, yeah, I check this out. I'm sure he's spending that kind of cake on a drum set. He's probably pretty good. Mm. And they're playing, and the beat is like a tick, 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 and his hand is doing this. And I'm like, well, that is not what I'm hearing, bro.
He's just playing something. Like, yeah.
And I'm like, so is it everyone, or is it just him? Or, I mean, it sounds like he's got a drum machine playing in the background, and the guy's just faking it.
Mm. So yeah, she goes $20 to get in, and I look at her, I was like, 20 for both? And she's like, it's supposed to be 20 a person, and she was like making me think she's giving me a good deal. I'll do it for you for 20 total. I tell Scott, I'm like, they want $20 for us to get in here, and he's like, he's not even fucking playing the drums. Let's get out of here. And we were just like, thanks, and left. Speaking of the live music, though, the night before we had found live music, that punk band or whatever, like douchebag lead singer and the drummer, who was like actually good and playing the drums.
Yeah, he was definitely playing the drums.
He was definitely
playing
the drums.
The living life out of it.
Like, I mean, trying to ruin them.
He was destroying the heads.
That place was kind of cool.
Deadening the cymbals.
Tin Roof,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe check that out for live music, not Georgia Browns.
Yeah, and so, the guy, I was like, so are these guys local or whatever? And they're like, no, they're from like Tennessee. And, but they're really good. I mean, half of them are
because the range. He's got such good range.
Yeah, he's got range. The vocalist.
He started singing like, this guy fucking sucks.
So the bass player and the drummer were brand new members. So I mean, they're pretty good. Except I haven't heard half of the band yet. But yeah, they started playing, and immediately just like it was a total college vibe thing going there, and so like everybody was having a good time and whatever. And he starts singing, you're just like looking at this dude. He's got that.
Well, he had dyed blonde hair. You could see the roots. Like it's not his natural hair color. So like longer, emo-ish blonde hair.
Odd to look at.
He was like very soft and squishy looking, and thought he was like a badass. Like some of the times he was singing, I'm like, this guy has range. This guy sucks. This is not a good singer.
And wearing, what are the pants?
Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans. Low cut skinny jeans, and it was weird. Yeah. And their sound person was
70, 80.
I don't know what was going on there. That was the weirdest.
I think it was an 80-year-old woman transitioning to be a man, and she looked very frail.
And also
but she was using this iPad, and
renowned physicist or something. Just had this like.
We were like the guy's like, yeah, they're just about to start. From him saying that, it took another 25 minutes of just the lady with the iPad adjusting stuff to the drummer being like pointing up and down, just kept contradicting himself. Like she's adjusting levels and he just kept telling her the fucking opposite. And I'm like, just play some fucking music. And they finally did, and it was very lackluster. But it was fun, and the guy was breaking his drum set.
Yeah, and
Did you touch my drum set?
well, and it wasn't his drum set, right? That was a house kit.
Yeah.
It was a house kit,
Yep.
Also,
and it was a nice house kit,
And he was trying to ruin it.
and he was beating the living tar out of it.
Yeah. But entertainment, I guess. But yeah. What else did we see that was wild on? Wasn't there some street racing or
But yeah, just randomly.
all of a sudden it'd be just like
Yeah.
some car would go by that was like
Yeah.
deafening.
You could hear
because
the
of the weekend.
supercharger. We were in the hotel room, and all of a sudden, this guy just roasted outside of the. And you could hear the sound of the supercharger spooling up, and I mean, it was, and that happened every 20 minutes. It seemed like somebody was crushing their Hemi.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. I would definitely go back.
We didn't get to go karting. That was a bummer.
Yeah, you wanted to do that. Like actual like those would have been not electric, right? Those would have been gas, or because it's indoor, would it have?
Might have been. I don't recall if they were electric or gas. It's been a few years since I was there, but that was Sarah Fisher, former IndyCar driver and current team owner, owns this karting place
Over by Indianapolis.
They
Speedway.
were booked until 10 p.m.
and you called it 4,
crap.
so it was booked solid for
Yeah.
6 hours.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
popular.
Tell them a little bit about, if you want, you can tell me to fuck off. A little bit about what you want to do with Apex branding, because you can use that for promo.
Yeah. Well, so really
The reason we went.
the whole concept of Apex is that it's hard as a single driver in amateur motorsports to get funding. Unless you got a buddy who owns a company that wants to. That was solid. Off the backboard.
Nice.
Yeah, unless you know somebody with money, it's just hard to get money. So getting companies to see value in paying an amateur racer is hard, right? So the thought of it is, what if you, instead of get one driver, get 10 drivers or 15 drivers that are all representing this brand, and typically, like, a lot of these guys are, younger guys and girls that are really good with social media. And so that's where a lot of the value is. And like you watch NASCAR and you hear the same old stuff every time somebody wins. And every racing series kind of has that to some degree. It's like, yeah, I want to thank my Kentucky bourbon, whatever.
Fried
They just
chicken.
kind of just good year.
Number 23 Chevrolet.
Yeah, just puke it out. It like, I'd like to thank my obligatory, it's just really lackluster. And even the social media, like, I'm not going to say who it was, but there's an IndyCar driver with a very famous dad that did some social media stuff, and it was just so bad. Just terrible. And like, this is him representing his brand, right? And it's terrible. So I'm like, so if you do this creatively, but also have a grassroots feel to it, make it feel very natural, get all of these guys on the same page, it's going to be really valuable. Because if you hear it from one person, you're like, he's saying that because whatever.
Yep.
He's getting paid to. You hear it from 15 people, you start going, maybe this stuff's pretty good. Whatever it is you're talking about. Oh, maybe I should look at that. Seems like everybody's doing it, right?
In the racing community, I feel like you guys are very, like any niche or hobby thing, people are very loyal. So if they see 10 to 15 people being supported by a company, whether that's Polaris, Can-Am, whatever it might be, that would then, if you serve that ad or, social media stuff goes to those potential customers and they see, holy shit, this company is taking care of this many people. They're supporting the cause. They're supporting these drivers. that has a better feel than just one guy that's like, oh yeah, I got, this Chinese UTV company that I work with. Like, fuck it, I don't care.
Right. And we all talk. And
Yeah.
even people that are just there to watch will come up and be like, yeah, I see you're using this, or you're representing this or whatever. And they ask questions, and, it's just a place where people are, I don't know, there's a lot of influence. So having a group of people on the same page, but having a company spend way less money than they would if they wanted to slap a quarter-size logo on an F1 car.
Yep.
To get a crowd of passionate people that are all very grateful for any help they can get to try to further their career, seemed like a good idea to me. And so we're kind of getting to the fruition of that vision now. And we were kind of looking for, maybe one really good fit to get us through 2024 and get us maybe to the next level. So that's kind of what the mission was.
Okay. So we had a couple conversations with, and I'm saying we because it's Scott's thing, but I'm trying to help out wherever I can. We had a couple conversations where Scott interviewed and talked to, whether it was a sales rep or a marketing person or a famous driving coach or whatever, notable driving coach, about different things like that idea and being the agency or whatever you want to call it between the drivers and the companies. So there could be some really cool stuff that comes out of that visit or that trip to PRI. And if there are any companies or folks that own something or work for somebody that are looking for different avenues to market the product,
something different than everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Because you race, so the SCCA, what's like a schedule like that some of these drivers would be, that you would have in the stable or whatever you want to call it, the 10 to 15 people that would be working for these brands? They're in Elkhart Lake, at Road America, they're where else?
Pretty much, we don't make it to the West Coast very often. That seems like the West Coast is like its own country, because it's so far to get anywhere from there. Mm-hmm. You'll see people from the West Coast pop into certain places, but typically they kind of stay in their area. We cover the rest of the country. So like SCCA Super Tour this year goes to, and they do actually do a few races on the West Coast, but they go to Watkins Glen, New York, Mid-Ohio, NOLA, so New Orleans, and it's either the weekend, I think it's the weekend after Mardi Gras. So what a great time to go there for a week, hang out, enjoy the fun, and then race in the weekend, and then fly out. Atlanta, and then and Road America. So you're bouncing all over VIR, all over the country, for the super tours, and then they, we have a lot of what are called majors races, which are kind of a lesser version of the super tours, but still, fairly well attended, and they're all over the place.
Michigan.
Yeah, we did 2 of them in Michigan.
Illinois.
Yeah, and there's probably 6 tracks in Michigan, I think, that people race at, and I don't know, we're kind of all over the place depending on people's availability and schedule, but that's just, our shop, and I think the eventual goal is to be able to have drivers that are from different parts of the country, so that we are getting a better coverage of.
Yep.
Well, and we went to a couple seminars, they had education sessions during the trade show, and one of them talked about how to get sponsorship for whether you're a driver or whatever, or if you're a company that's looking to sponsor people. And they had a lot of different tips and tricks and things they talked about, but a recurring theme was you don't necessarily need to be the best racer or even race to have companies want to work with you in the age of social media with influencer type stuff. You just have to create content, a lot of it, and provide value to the company, here, use this or share this, do this.
They kept talking about this one company I had never heard of, but it Red, what is it, Bull?
Red Bull, Monster, all that shit. So yeah, when people hear it, if you're a super local company, there's only so much that makes sense to work with, a group that goes all over the country. But if you're somebody that has a product or a service or something that can be bought online or shipped to you or whatever it is, it doesn't need to be somebody in your backyard. If they happen to stop by and you can, join in on the fun, great. But it's more of the reach you can get on social media and everything. So there's a lot of opportunity for different companies to work with these club racers that have a very loyal fan base following. Like, when we go to Road America to watch your stuff, there's a lot of people that are there that probably don't know, they might know somebody, but they still see your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, every track has its local track junkies that just show up for every event.
Yeah. Nice.
But even more so, people, aspiring drivers follow other drivers. People that are just into cars or racing follow other drivers. I mean, yeah, the reach that social media has allowed everybody to have now, good or bad, is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. So what, I think we may have talked about it earlier when you've been on, but like, what does your schedule look like for this season? What are you probably going to try to race?
I'm still kind of shaking it out. I'd like to do at least 3 of the Super Tour weekends. That would be 6 races, which is enough to if you do really well in 3 races, that's actually could get you to the point where you could win the Super Tour championship. It's probably more difficult to do it in 3 weekends, maybe 5 weekends, so you can eliminate a few bad runs because you have good luck and bad luck sometimes. But I'd like to try to do 3. I really wanted to do NOLA, but we have an event that weekend, so that one's no good. Sebring in Florida is right in January, and we're just not going to be ready for that. It's a little too soon. So I'm thinking about Road Atlanta and then Mid-Ohio and Road America for those 3 Super Tours, but then probably sticking around our Northern Conference and trying to get a repeat on the Northern Conference Championship.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Have you been to Mid-Ohio and Road Atlanta? Like, raced at?
I have been to Mid-Ohio many times. Love it. One of my favorite tracks. I've never been to Road Atlanta, and it looks a little scary, but I've heard it's really awesome.
What time of year is Mid-Ohio?
Mid-Ohio's in May. Road Atlanta's in March.
And what about Road
America's in June. It's the
June sprints.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Nice.
We should go in June to Road America.
Yeah.
Because I went this year and it was awesome. Lindsay and I went. What else? Anything else that you want to mention or talk about?
My heart was broken that you weren't there.
Yeah.
Part of the issue, obviously, that
Yeah.
didn't help Scott that day is you were not there.
Yeah, I do.
It wasn't my
get
motor.
up there. I've not been up there for races of any kind, so yeah, it'd be awesome to get
It's a
up
good
there.
time to go. It's less of a circus, like going for one of like the big Road America weekends when there's, these other tours or different like groups of people. But it's like it feels just like that.
Yeah, and it will be amped up for the June sprints this year because the runoffs, the championship, is also at Road America in October.
So people want to get a
nice.
chance to drive the track
Yeah.
for later in the
People
year.
are going to be there a lot this year, getting laps in, just to have a chance.
Yeah.
So that track it seems straightforward, but it's very difficult to be consistently super fast there.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we should definitely get a group to come up and show
that'd be
some
awesome.
support in June, if not again in October. Anything else you want to mention or bring up while we have a few minutes left?
yeah, I would just big shout out to everybody that took the time to talk to us. PRI for putting on an amazing event.
Mm-hmm.
Marriott Courtyard was,
A good sport for all the bullshit you put them through.
right. I think every single hotel there handles this very well. Like,
Well, and the bars and restaurants too, they all know it's like a reoccurring thing. They know that people are in town for that, and they do a good job.
yeah, it's the city of Indianapolis really welcomes the shenanigans, and I don't think they're being real dicks about all of the silly stuff that the racers do.
Yep.
Not that racers do silly stuff, but
Fuck.
by definition. Yeah, I had a great time, met some really cool people, got to interview, somebody that was, I listen to this guy's podcast all the time, and so, yeah.
So
yeah.
follow.
Shout out to Ross
watch.
Bentley, Speed Secrets, and No Dumb Questions. He does a podcast with Jeff Braun. Jeff Braun is, engineer extraordinaire, and like his kid's a rock star race car driver, and he's got some great stories. He actually, right in Madison at Kelly Moss Motorsports, he was there for quite a while running some of those programs. So
If
yeah,
people want to follow along with Apex, how do they do it?
Apex Branding on Instagram and Facebook. There is a snarky, outtakey type of offshoot of Apex called the Blown Apex.
What is a blown Apex? How often do you blow an Apex?
Me, never.
Do you
Never.
like-
I drive perfectly.
You like to blow Apexes or no?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, yeah, that name came from when your goal is to go into a corner, nail the apex, and be on the gas as soon as possible to make the most out of your exit out of a corner. Blowing the apex means missing it by a foot or 3. Maybe going too late or too early or whatever. So it means we screwed up. And I would say that the Blown Apex page is pretty screwed up.
Yeah, it'll get even worse too.
Yeah.
Or better, I mean.
Right. One of the two. But yeah, it's
However you look.
the lighthearted side of everything, and so that's more of the fun one. And then Apex Branding is going to focus on the racers themselves, the industry,
Nice.
And having a big 2024.
and a big 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have announcements. Oh,
Oh, I'll clip that. Oh,
yeah, save that for every time Kyle answers a trivia question.
button. Well, thank you, Scott. It's your third or fourth time on. Third?
Third.
The
I still have indigestion from the second
The
time.
second time, the Wisconsin food traditions and stuff. If you have not seen that, definitely watch it so you get a little bit of the facial reactions to the food we eat and everything.
Yep.
More
that
like
was-
the smells. That Limburger was woo.
Yeah, that was rank.
That's what it was. I forget which episode. It was late 20s, maybe early 30s. But I'll share a link or do something and bring that back in.
Yep. Get your orders in for your meat for your cannibal sandwiches now.
Yeah, for the holidays. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Merry Christmas. We have one more episode before Christmas. We have a big buck contest. We got to get the winners announced. Got other stuff. So stay tuned on that. Follow our social media. Like stuff. Share stuff. Subscribe on YouTube. Make 1,000 fucking fake accounts and subscribe on YouTube.
Oh yeah, isn't there a Blown Apex YouTube channel as well?
There is, and I'm going to make it subscribe to ours.
Nice.
Just
And
to
I'll
get that number.
I'll sell you a subscription back to yours.
Sounds good.
Yeah, pretty good, Neil.
Good, Neil.
Excellent. You.